Hello guys, I'd like to welcome you back to the 254 Paddock. Today we're going to talk about the second race that happened in Austria, which was last week. Which I'd have to say, Ivan, that was a boring ass race, man.
Yeah, I told you it was going to be. I said it from the start.
That was boring, but that was one of the most interesting qualifying sessions we have watched in the longest time, to be honest.
Yeah, so at least it wasn't a complete waste of a weekend.
Yes, but let's start with FP1. What was your take on FP1?
It wasn't really anything that different. I mean, we were expecting Ferrari to bring their sort of newer updates and to do better, but that didn't work out for them. So yeah, it wasn't really that different. I think Racing Point showed more pace this time around than they did last time.
They showed so much pace, man, to be honest. But this is the thing, as you keep on this one thing Ivan keeps on saying that Racing Point have a really quick car, but they have an A-tier car, but they have D-tier drivers.
Yeah.
Which I think we saw that on Sunday, man. Like that was so bad. And then for those who didn't know, FP2 was actually meant to be used as the qualifying times.
It could have been, yeah.
Guys weren't sure. Yes, guys weren't sure if FP3 and the qualifying were going to run, because FP3 was cancelled.
Yeah.
So so now they were going to take. That's why, I really wish they took FP2 times, to be honest, because Ivan, that would have been a very, very interesting layout to see.
That would have been Racing Point on top. And then most of the top teams being below top 5. So yeah, it would have. But I think it would have. Seeing how they performed on Sunday, I don't think it would have mattered much, because I think Bottas and Hamilton would have just made their way through and stuck 1-2 anyway. Because the pace that Mercedes showed on Sunday, nobody else could match them.
Mercedes' pace on Sunday wasn't normal, to be honest. Because these guys, dude. When Hamilton didn't even need to get on this, and let me tell you the most pissing off part. There's been speculation that Mercedes was not riding the curbs as they normally do during the race.
Yeah.
So you see, they had proper race pace, and Ivan, we all know how much riding the curbs gives you lap time. Like we all know that you'll get like a 200 or a 300 of a second just riding the curbs alone.
Yeah.
You see. And Mercedes was not riding the curbs because of the issue they had in the first Austrian event, you see.
Yeah,
and they had still created such a big gap, Like, what the hell was that, man? Those guys, Hamilton, by the second lap, he was already 2 seconds ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, and you could see that Bottas was catching up to Max at a faster rate than Max was even trying to catch up to Hamilton. Like, Max wasn't catching Hamilton at any point. Max was always falling behind.
Max got pissed. Like, I've never had Max that mad. Max was being told, yo, you're the quickest. Max is like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
What do I do? Like, that's the raw pace that Mercedes showed on Sunday. And now this is the thing. We have Hungary coming. You remember last year, Hungary? Mercedes versus Red Bull. It was actually Max versus Hamilton, basically.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the only reason Hamilton won the race was because that Red Bull did not pull that stop. If Red Bull just took the stop immediately, if Red Bull took that stop immediately after Hamilton, what do you think would have happened? That would have been a race that would have seen who's the better driver there, to be honest. But you see, that race, strategy won that race.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, Racing Point had the same car Mercedes had last year. So Racing Point in Hungary, man. Like what, Ivan, from what we've seen.
We don't know if they're gonna have the same car, because their car is still seized. So we still don't have until we're recording on a Thursday afternoon. We still don't know the results from that. So their car is still seized, and we don't know if they're even going to be allowed to run. So talking about them right now is a bit of like a mixed bag, because we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of hours or
in the next couple of hours. Because right now we're working, guys, by the way, we record on Thursday. Like this video, we've done it on Thursday, and there's been so much speculation. Like, for example, there's been speculation that Vettel might move to Racing Point or Aston Martin. So now this is the thing. Ivan, we all know that Lance Stroll is not going to get rid of his son in that team. That is for sure. So who's the driver who's going to leave? Perez. And Perez had a contract for 2021. His contract was actually ending end of next year.
Yeah. No, it's a bit because you see Perez. So I would say he's a better driver than Stroll, but regardless of that, I think Perez was the sole reason that Racing Point still exists today, because it had the whole issue with when it was Force India and they went through bankruptcy, through some lawsuits and all those type of stuff, and Perez was the one that sort of saved them and managed to get them out of the brink. If he didn't, there wouldn't have been a Racing Point today. So it seems like a big dick move to be like, okay, we have the opportunity to get Vettel. Okay, bye bye, the guy who literally saved the team and replaced him with Vettel.
And the thing is, Ivan, Perez brought so much money because there's a Mexican guy who sponsors Perez, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And he brings in so much money into Racing Point. You see, but now this is the thing. What the rumor has been is that Perez manager has been trying to get either a seat in Haas or Alpha. And this is the thing. I think the best team for Perez would be Alpha, because Perez would go there with money.
And boost the team.
But now the problem is, the Haas car itself is in such a bad place. Like, so I'm a Ferrari fan. We all know I'm a Ferrari fan. Now the bad part is that all teams that have Ferrari per units this year are just not working. It's sad.
They don't have power.
Williams did better than us. Like, what was that on Sunday, honestly? Charles, man, what was that? It was so bad, Vettel wasn't even mad.
No, I think Vettel has given up at this point. He's like, what does he have to race for anymore? Okay, so like, this was his best chance, let's be honest. Despite him going to Aston Martin, nobody knows what happens there. So as of right now, this year was his best and last chance to win a championship with Ferrari. If they started strong, so if they in the first Austrian Grand Prix, if he did well, let's say he finished on the podium, second or third, I think he would have done this race different, because that means he would have gotten the hype. He would have been like, okay, cool, there's still a chance. I should actually focus and try and win some more races.
Yes.
He finished 10th. Okay, that's it. There's already only 10 races confirmed. So already short season. He didn't get the points that he needs. So he's already demotivated to continue. And now in the second race, his own teammate takes him out. What do you do at this point?
Oh my god. Dude, and let me tell you the most pissing off bit with this. Like, this season, as a Ferrari fan and seeing Ferrari's point of view, the updates they brought made the car slower. The car did not perform. Like, we didn't see any improvement. What we saw was just the car get relevantly slower.
Yeah.
So that was just such a bad. I expected better from Ferrari, to be honest. Like, that was such a bad update, man. Like, Mattia is embarrassing us, man. This how now I understand how Arsenal fans feel, but you know what? We keep on moving.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a weird thing, because like, Ferrari has had sort of bad days, but their bad days is still a top 5 finish. Right now, they're getting DNFs and top 10, like below top 10 finish. They're qualifying out of the top 10.
Remember, the worst year for Ferrari was when the turbo hybrid era started. Remember, that was the worst.
They were still managing to get 4th, 5th places.
They were still managing to get. Exactly. You see, right now we are battling for. Racing Point is quicker. It is so much. It's way quicker than us, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even funny. But this Racing Point car, to be honest, if it had better drivers, we all saw what Perez did. Perez came from, but it was a bit disappointing, because we've seen such moves where someone starts below and wins the race or gets a podium. You see.
Yeah, that's why I always say that Perez is still not. He's not as good as the car.
He's not
right
at the
now.
top. You see, yes, that's very, very. And he almost took out Albon at Albon Memorial.
Again,
That was a close. Dude, if Albon went off in the same corner, that would be very, very sad for him. But Ivan, another thing, Albon's pace on Sunday was not all that good.
No, he said he wasn't happy with the car. He said it from like qualifying onwards that the car just felt a bit oversteery, so he never had confidence. He was complaining.
Actually, you know what happened, Ivan? It started in FP1. Red Bull, I think Red Bull brought some updates. It brought, I think, badge boards, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, there are some different setups running this weekend.
And also changed a bit of the setup. And Albon started complaining. The first complaint I remember was, I think, FP1 or FP2. He said that when I'm midway through the corner, the car has understeer. So he went back, they adjusted the car. Next thing, he started saying the car has too much oversteer. So I don't know if it was set up, if it was just him and his feeling of the car. Like, I don't understand what is going on there.
Yeah, I mean, he still did well. If you think like Max finished third, he finished fourth. So it's like, it wasn't a bad result, but he was nowhere. He wasn't catching, like he got overtaken by Bottas and that's it. We never saw him again.
Yeah, Perez almost overtook. Let's not forget that by the way. Perez almost overtook him. That's the sad part about this. Perez almost overtook him. You see, and that's when Perez. But that was the biggest mistake Perez made during the race. That mistake messed up his. And Norris. Oh my God, Norris, man. To be honest, if McLaren can just improve they're getting a power unit next year, and I think their car right now. So it's not really there. If they can just get a bit more downforce with the Mercedes power unit, McLaren is going to be back on the podium, man. With Daniel Ricciardo and Norris next year for them.
I think they're already like at that point because the car right now, purely on pace, is still because remember Sainz got third in that qualifying, and why that's important is I see wet qualifying as a true demonstration of what the car's chassis and not so much aero
and driver.
But the power unit doesn't matter as much in a wet qualifying.
Yes. Because it evens out everything.
Yeah, you're not relying on the power unit anymore. You're relying more on your chassis and your mechanical grip. And McLaren qualified third, if you remember. Sainz managed to get the third place. So that means their chassis is there. Their car is there. They're just struggling with the power unit a bit. And next year they get Mercedes. I think it's over.
Ivan, another thing I think we should speak about is that during the race, there was a move that I don't know if it was fair or if it was just a stupid move. And McLaren, it was a move by Renault. Ricciardo started on the medium compound, and Ocon was on the softs. So you remember the point where Ocon held back Ricciardo, and Ricciardo would have finished higher than Stroll. If Ocon did not hold back, because you remember, McLaren were in the same position. What did those guys do? Those guys let Norris go. You remember? And this the goodness with McLaren drivers is that Sainz had no issue with that. Sainz saw that this guy's pace is quicker than mine. You see? Yeah. Ocon held back Ricciardo only for him to retire. Like honestly, I felt painful.
And if you actually look at
Ricciardo
the gap at the end of the race between Perez, Stroll, and Ricciardo, that couple of laps where Ocon held him up would have been the difference between him not being able to overtake him by half a second and actually finishing ahead.
Exactly, and actually finishing, he would have finished ahead. But this is the thing. To be honest, that helped. We all want, for me. The driver I want to show us something this year is Lando Norris. And so far, he's doing so much.
Yeah, but two races,
I did not expect this.
One, he started third, finished third.
You see,
this one, he started eighth, I think it was, and finished fifth. Yeah.
Yes, and he had a pain. And you remember qualifying, bro, he was posting. There was a time I think he was on pole, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, Norris?
Because, yes, there was a time he posted, after Hamilton, he posted the second quick. There was a point he posted
it was I think around
time.
Q2. Yeah, I think Q2.
Yes, I'm telling you that qualifying, that was one of the most interesting qualifying sessions we've ever seen, man. There was no waiting till the end. It was from the moment you get on track, you try and go quickest, man.
Yeah.
But seeing Williams in Q2, that was a satisfying feeling.
As I said,
That
it
was
just
very,
shows
very
that they've
satisfying,
made the
man.
right progress, because when the field is more even with the wet qualifying, it shows that their
Yes.
car's chassis is not as bad as everyone thinks. They managed to get P12, if I remember correctly. P12, and then he was promoted to P11 because Leclerc
Yes.
got a penalty.
Yes. So far, I think, to be honest, Williams' car, okay, on race pace, it's not that good.
No,
But
they're still
so
struggling.
far, Williams are going in the right direction. You see, they're actually way better than Haas, and I see by the next regulations, Williams is going to be battling in the top of the middle teams. To be honest,
No, you see, all of this
That
is
is-
good. Like,
that is my
regardless of their race pace right now, them getting
Yes.
stuff like getting into Q2 is still good, because this is publicity that then gets sponsors in,
True.
that then brings money in. That's been their
And that
biggest
brings more
issues,
money.
like keeping sponsors because of their results. And
Yeah.
and the sponsors are what brings the money in. So this promotion is good promotion for them right now.
but I told you that Williams have a big sponsor right now, in Latifi's dad. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, but it's still like you want more than
called-
just one source.
Yes, you want more than just one source, of course. But let's see. Hopefully for next year, they're going to get more sponsorship. It'll make things so much interesting seeing Williams battle like at the top of... That's all I want to see Williams battle. At the top of the midfield. That means beating Renault, beating AlphaTauri,
Yeah.
beating Alpha, and beating Haas. You see, but Haas... I don't know what Haas needs to be. Haas needs Perez. Let's put it this way. Haas needs Perez. Yeah? Perez will come in with money, because if Haas do not get good sponsorship and a good driver for next year, I do not see Haas being in the next regulations, honestly. I see it being bought out.
They just
see.
they did what Tracing Point did, but worse. They tried to copy the Ferrari car, and it just hasn't worked out for them. Like, every time
But-
you listen to what the drivers say, they keep complaining about how this car is not working, it doesn't feel stable, and it's been like, this is the second season that they've complained about, even
But,
the third season
Ivan,
they've complained about this car.
You remember, this is the thing, the first, beginning of last year, Haas was on point. Haas was really on point. When they had Rich Energy sponsoring them, Haas was really on point, man. And then suddenly, they brought upgrades to the car. So I think Haas and upgrades, that's where they went wrong. Now you see, this is the thing. With Racing Point, they took last year's Mercedes. Last year's Mercedes, we all saw what happened in Austria. From practice, they were quick.
Yeah.
Qualifying, they were quick. Race pace, the car started overheating, and it brought so many issues. You remember, they finished, I
Yeah.
think, was it 5th and 6th? They were so
They
slow.
went
You
lower.
remember
I
Vettel
think they were
overtaking
lower. I
Hamilton?
think Hamilton finished like 8th, and Bottas finished like 4th or 5th.
I think it was lower. But you see, you get my point. Racing Point, what they actually did, they took that car and they made it better. Because, dude, this year, what issues have we seen from Racing? Okay, apart from the first race, what issues have we seen from the Racing Point?
Yeah, they haven't really had much, just the drivers.
Exactly. That is their only problem, by the way. But now, I think that's... is there anything else to add about last week's race? Because it wasn't that entertaining.
No,
You see,
really, as I
we
said,
want to
it's
see
what I
proper-
predicted. Hamilton got pissed off because he had a bad weekend, which is what we
Ivan.
expected, so he would outperform like he normally would. Mercedes would get a
Yes.
1-2, and Red Bull would finish third, which is what I said, and it's
Okay.
like exactly what
My
happened.
My prediction was Hamilton being on top, but I expected Max to be second. Let me not even lie to you. I expected Max to be second, but after I think lap two was when I saw, hey, things are going the wrong way.
Yeah, if you actually notice, like a lot of people were saying, like, oh, Bottas is too slow, it's too slow. If you notice, so Bottas was just doing a casual pace throughout the whole thing. He was catching Max, but not really that bad. It was at the point where he got a radio call, you will overtake Max on the last lap. When he got that,
That's when
after
he
that,
started,
he could
yes.
take like 2 seconds a lap out of Max. Because I think it
that's
lit like
when-
a fire
that's when
under
he
his
started
ass and
posting.
being like, I don't want to fight Max on the last lap. So let me actually push and overtake him before the last lap. And that's when you saw the true pace of the Mercedes. Because within a lap, he would gain like almost 2 seconds. It was crazy.
Yeah, but you saw the pace. You saw that side by side battle. That was interesting, man. That was interesting between Bottas and Max. Man, what a battle that was.
I guess Max was just bored. I think he was like, I'm bored. I want to do something. It was pointless because like by the next lap he got past them super easily. But yeah, I think it was just Max being a bit bored and wanting
Max
to
tried. Max really tried. I remember the team would come on the radio. They're like, Max, Bottas is coming. He's like, what do I do? There's nothing I can do. Yeah. That car is so damn quick. Eh? But now, okay, let's move on to, we have Hungary coming up this weekend. This we do not know what to expect because last year
it's a completely different track. It's a completely different environment. It's updates are coming in. There's so many variables that until the first practice session we can't predict what's going to be.
We honestly can't predict this one because you remember last year we saw a very, very entertaining race between Max and Hamilton. You see, but now as we said before, strategy won that race.
Yeah.
So this weekend, but now this is the thing. Do you remember the gap between Max and Hamilton and the rest? These guys had such a big gap. They both had free pit stops.
Yeah.
Like that is Ferrari. We couldn't do shit. So we got a podium there, but there was nothing we could do. You remember when Vettel passed Leclerc, like Ferrari, they weren't even racing each other. That's how bad that race was for us. And after that race, that's when Mattia brought updates into Singapore that now helped Ferrari dominate that race. But you see, this year I do not see Ferrari being like there've been no rumors about Ferrari getting a per unit update.
Yeah.
There's been no speculation on that. So for now, I think we've lost hope.
Yeah, and the thing is, Hungary is still a fast track. If you actually look at it, there's a lot of straights. It's not Monaco.
Dude,
it's not Singapore, where you have
Hungary is a
corners.
fast track, man. Hungary is a very, very fast track. You see, Hungary, like this season for Ferrari, it's just bad. And you see, we have the home race. We have 2 home races for Ferrari. There's Mugello, which is going to be Ferrari's 1,000th race. Like it's gonna be so. Exactly, it's gonna be so embarrassing if Ferrari finishes on the bottom again. Like there's something that team just needs. I don't know what they need anymore. I don't know if I should lose hope because we thought this was gonna be a better year. You see, we knew that Leclerc was going to he would be a beast this season. Yeah. But so far, what we've seen from him the first race he was fire. The second race was, he was a torpedo, man.
He was just overexcited and tried to. I think he didn't want to get stuck behind traffic. I understand his thought process. He's like, we're starting far behind. I don't want to be stuck behind traffic for too long. Let me take this risk and see if I can make up places straight away. And it backfired on him.
True. It backfired very, very, very badly. For him to take out his teammate and take out both cars, like honestly, it backfired very, 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 very badly for him. But honestly, let's see. But I feel bad for Carlos Sainz because next season he's going to be in Ferrari and he's leaving a podium team.
No, I think like it's more about the prestige of being in Ferrari right now than anything else. Even if they don't get like good results, you can still say I'm in Ferrari. The salary is going to be more as well because Ferrari can afford to pay him more as well.
There's something you said some time back about Hamilton won't be remembered that much, even though he may have the most number of titles. You remember that? And I think it's because if Hamilton won for Ferrari, Hamilton would be one of the most well-known drivers in history. You see? Because there's something that Ferrari comes, for example, look how well Barrichello is known. And Massa almost won a championship if it wasn't for Hamilton. But you see, Massa is still more well known. Dude, he's on the moving forward for Heroes. Why? Like honestly, no, why? You see, there's something about being a Ferrari, and also McLaren of late has not been the McLaren that we used to know. You see. Yeah. But if McLaren can build up its I see Norris winning a championship for McLaren.
Yeah, it's possible. No, I mean, you're right about the whole press, because look at this way. Jenson Button won a World Drivers' Championship in a pretty dominant car, and so many people completely forget about him because it was won at some random team, Braun GP, that nobody has ever heard of. If he won, even if it was one season, but it was with Ferrari, everyone would remember Jenson Button right now.
That's the same way everyone remembers Kimi. You see, and Kimi was our last champion. Honestly, like, do you know, it's even embarrassing when you try and remember, hey, when was the last time Ferrari won a champion? Then it hits you.
It was with Kimi.
Like, dude, that was a long time ago, and it was Kimi. You see, yeah. But let's see, and then let's talk on Alonso coming back. I don't think we went into detail last week about Alonso coming back.
No, we mentioned it, and we just went like, I don't think it's really going to change anything for Renault. I don't think, he's just coming back for fun rather than being competitive. So I don't think it's going to be a much of a big point.
Okay, now there was a comment that, was it Crofty or who made it? Or it was Martin Brundle on Sunday, when, you remember after that whole scenario of Ocon and Ricardo? Someone said, if that was Alonso, that, I'm telling you, Team Radio would have been late, man. Team Radio would have been very, very late. If it was Alonso. But this is the thing, the reason why I do not want Vettel to leave Formula 1. Okay, this is my personal reason. It's because Vettel, and the reason I want Alonso, okay, I wouldn't mind having Alonso back, is because those two made driver briefings so interesting. Because you see, everyone else would be so serious during driver briefings. Sam, Alonso, when he was in Ferrari, driver briefings for him used to be very, very serious, you see. But when the moment he moved on to McLaren and the team was slow, I'm telling you, bro, those driver briefings were something else, man. Those driver briefings. You remember, like, when he made the joke about every team needs to have the same power unit. So that we can actually see who's the proper driver. You see?
And then everyone's like, no. We like to have
Hamilton
engines.
Hamilton was the one who started laughing. You remember? Hamilton was the one who started laughing. You see? But now, do you see Vettel actually moving to Aston Martin? Or you say it's just a rumor?
I guess we'll see by tomorrow. I think they'll probably have.
No, they said.
I don't like, even if he does go, then why? Like, you're downgrading on the highest. Like, I would, if being Vettel, I would rather retire or like leave like Alonso did for 2 years and then come back when there's like better drives available. I would not force myself to go down to a lower team just for the sake of being relevant in F1.
That's a good point. Because so far, there's no other team for Vettel other than Mercedes. You see, and Vettel said before he wants a Mercedes, and he cannot get a Mercedes because there's no way Mercedes is going to let go of their number one driver, Hamilton, and their perfect number two driver. You see, and we've all seen Vettel is not a team player, man. Vettel is not especially if he's in a winning scenario. Vettel is not gonna let you win. You see. So Vettel, I think, so for me, I'd say it's not such a bad move. But this is the thing, if Racing Point's car gets taken, like if the car gets taken away by FIA, Vettel is going to have put himself in some big trouble.
Exactly.
Because those guys are going to come back next year and they're going to be, but this is the thing, I don't think that car is going to be taken away. There's nothing they can do about it, you see. Even though we've seen that these guys copied literally everything. Okay, I think they're bringing updates next week, I mean this weekend, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't follow that. But like the grounds that they did this whole FIA thing is on their, what is it? It's on the brake ducts. And if you actually look at it, the brake ducts from the Racing Point and the Mercedes, they look identical. So you never know, the car might actually be taken away from them.
But now, Ivan, this is the thing. Mercedes' brake ducts, I think it was the beginning of this year, they were illegal. I don't know if you remember that story. Mercedes this year was running illegal brake ducts. So the first complaint from Red Bull was not even about dust. The first complaint was about the brake duct, hoping that once they take them off, you know, I think they were inches off the normal what they're meant to be. You see, So Red Bull, they complained. Mercedes, it was actually taken. Mercedes were in I'll get you that. I'll get that article. It was on motorsports.com. Mercedes were actually wrong there. You see, so Red Bull was hoping that if we can do this and they're wrong, and they change it, it might maybe take off some pace on the car. But hey, Mercedes, man, I don't know what they did. But those guys, they haven't lost anything. They've gotten, I think, 10 times quicker. It's not even funny. This season is theirs. If by chance they don't win by there, I don't know. If by chance Mercedes do not take this season, I honestly don't know. That would be.
It's just the problem of F1 and the current state of it is once you start winning, it's very hard for you to stop winning.
That's very, very
it's
true.
either like rules regulations have to change, or one of your drivers or something leaves. Like you've seen it every single decade. Like you saw Ferrari's dominance, how once they started winning, they couldn't stop.
Yes.
Then the rules got changed around. You saw Red Bull's dominance, and once Red Bull started, if you remember, Red Bull and Ferrari were even worse than Mercedes now. They used to come and win, Vettel won 10 or 9 races in a row.
Vettel, there was the Abu Dhabi that Vettel started from the pit lane. That is the one race I'll always remember. And he told Christian, I'll see you on the podium. Do you remember that race?
No, I can't. I know the one you're talking about. I just won't remember it off heart right now.
Dude, he told Christian, I'll see you on the podium. This guy, later on in the race, got into an incident. That was, I think, one of Red Bull's most crazy races. And the funny thing is that he actually finished on the podium. I can't remember what championship it was, but that was a good. But you see, this is the thing. Mercedes has dominated it's dominated the whole turbo hybrid era. You see. So next, and I see them dominating the next era also, but it's going to be hard because there were rumors that Toto Wolff was meant to leave because he wanted a job in FIA and he didn't get it, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, there's some other politics, but as I said, this is to be expected, and as I said, it's not as bad as it used to be. The problem people are having, it's gone on for quite long, so it's been since 2014, 2015.
Yes.
But in every season, they haven't outright won pretty much everything. If you go back to Red Bull and Ferrari, they had it a lot worse, where they would just win everything. No other team had a chance. But now, as we're getting to the end of these regulations, you can see more and more teams are getting on the podium, more and more teams have a chance.
Yes.
So they're not dominating as hard. But I think 2022 now it will help, but we'll see.
Honestly, what I'm seeing from 2022 is that I think every year we're going to have a different champion, to be honest. Because from what we're seeing so far, Ivan, from what right now, the current pace of these teams are trying, and you see with the budget cap will change so much. It's going to even out so much within the teams, you see. But now the problem is the first year, it's going to be the team with the most money that will dominate. But from the second year going forth, it's gonna be a struggle for everyone. And this is going to even out the grounds in F1. So it's gonna be who has the best driver. You see? Yeah? And that's my point of view. I'm not putting this on everyone to say that it's by force. But anyway, let's see. Is there anything else you want to add on for this weekend?
No, I think that's, as I said, we can't make many predictions because we haven't seen what these cars are going to be like on this slightly different track, so it's really hard to make predictions. But I just doubt anyone going faster than Mercedes still. That's the only thing I can say.
That's okay. My prediction is it's going to be a battle between Red Bull, Mercedes, and Racing Point. I have a feeling that Racing Point is going to shock us this weekend. You see? So let's hopefully my prediction goes through. I hope they make it. They need to make it an interesting race. Even if Racing Point is replacing Ferrari on the big teams, hopefully they make it an interesting race. I think anyway that's enough for today.
Yeah.
So okay. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any more comments, replies, just you can comment or DM me on Instagram or DM Ivan. Anyway, thanks guys for watching.